Yo, what up, Street Talks? There, Kim. So, this is just a thought. So the basic notion is put no faith in anything you read. Just put more faith in just what you perceive with your own two eyes, your own two ears. And yeah, essentially just go out to nature, go out to public, and just kind of see things for yourself. So the big problem is this. I think nowadays with the media and stuff like that, social media, Facebook, news, blah blah, we're too much living in this virtual reality where, this metaphorical virtual reality where we're not connected to embodied reality as much. Like, it's one thing to read the news virtually, and it's one thing to actually be out in the wild, 2 feet on the ground, to just kind of see what's kind of going on. So what's actually interesting to me is, you know, thinking more about like local news, thinking about just kind of witnessing whatever's going on with your own two eyes, and thinking about just like kind of like what's local. So to me, this is actually really important because it's actually really hard to get an accurate gauge on what's kind of going on. And you can't really get a good gauge until you just go out and witness for yourself. So for example, like I'm currently here in Providence, Rhode Island, and yeah, like, you know, we're not like trapped inside our houses yet. So it just kind of allows me to, so my personal curiosity and what I actually care about is going out and actually just like, how's it going, man? You doing good? Good. Yeah, stay healthy, man. Yes, just go outside and just kind of see what's going on. So in some ways, I'm starting to see how people's behavior is changing. So it's actually super interesting to me. So for example, I've actually noticed that a lot of people out in the streets, you know, going hiking or just on the basic streets, people's just like way friendlier to each other. Like, my thought is that now the notion is, it's all humans versus coronavirus, so coronavirus the enemy. And so all humans seem like we're just friendlier to each other, we're just kind of banding together, and we're just kind of smiling to each other, waving to each other. Even for me, like, I've been making more eye contact with strangers and waving hello, just to keep everyone else encouraged. And it's interesting, it tends to be a natural filter, is whoever is courageous to leave their houses and go on the streets actually are also the ones who, you know, tend to be a little bit more brave and courageous, and people just kind of like friendlier to each other. And yeah, and I just find it interesting too, because like with crises, I think people's true colors start to show up. You kind of see how people start to really think and behave and act. It was actually funny, I was just at CVS and I was picking up a coffee, and I guess I stood a little bit too close to a lady, and she just kind of told me off that like I was too close to her. So it's just kind of interesting, like a little bit this, like, you know, I mean, people just kind of following the new social norms, which is interesting. But once again, like, more interesting for us like photographers, sociologists, philosophers, real life people, to actually go out to real life and just kind of see what's going on instead of just staying home and being all scared. So it's actually even interesting, like I've been like talking to a lot of like you know, custodians, to janitors, to service workers, CVS employees, mailmen, Amazon drivers, workers, whatever. The interesting thing is, actually it looks like most people that I've been talking to or interacting with, none of them wear a face mask. And this is interesting too, it's like revealed preferences or whatever. Don't ask people what their opinion is, just kind of like look at what they're doing. So actually most employees at like CVS and stuff like that, they don't use gloves, they don't use masks. So like, and also the Amazon, USPS people, stuff like that, they're just like kind of like living business as usual, which is kind of interesting, because if they're so chill and relaxed and they're the ones who have to deal with this every single day, it makes me a little bit less fearful and a little bit less worried. So it's just kind of a, yo, check this out. Yeah, so it just kind of makes me a little bit less worried and a little less concerned. And actually makes me a little more courageous. And it's just funny too, because like randomly it's like, everyone's like, oh no, you know, like social distancing, we can't leave the house. But yo, we've already been social distancing forever. Even when we was able to go outside, nobody makes eye contact and stuff anyways. So to me, it's actually not that big of a change. I think just like the practical thing is, you know, life is always changing, life is always in flux. And so another thought that I had was about just kind of planning. So what's the point of planning if nothing's gonna go according to plan? What's the point of planning if there's these black swan like events which come out totally out of the blue and nobody could have predicted this? So my basic thought is kind of think about like how children live. Is children are the ultimate in terms of adaptability, resourcefulness, and kids don't make a year plan, a 5-year plan. This is something that I think we've been taught and socialized by parents, society and stuff like that. I don't even know who's invented notions of being a planner. So yeah, it looks like moving forward in life, it's not about planning, it's more about making the best of what we got. And I just personally try to take it where I just try to make the best out of every single day, because every single day it's always in flux, things are always a little bit changing, and essentially just don't be scared.